नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं इंडिया न्यूज। मैं हूं पिंकी धनखड़ आपके साथ और सीधा चलते हैं। लोकसभा और राज्यसभा की कार्रवाई शुरू हो चुकी है।
इच्छा है कि जिला में और व्यवस्था की जाए, उस पर हम लोग विचार करेंगे।
माननीय सदस्य।
Sir, again, sir, in Elur constituency only, sir, there is a Poloram project which we are constructing in Elur constituency. It is in Poloram is in Elur constituency only, sir. Sir, here what is happening, sir? Rehabilitation people are leaving the place from here because water is coming in, sir. Because of that, these all 1 lakh, here also 1,20,000 people are relocating from there to some other places, sir. They are going to have, they should find a new job or new culture or new setup for their livelihood, sir. Even if you are able to set up this incubation even in the Poloram area also, this will help them to get jobs, especially for youth sector, sir. If you consider that also, it will be helpful for us, sir. That is our major request in Poloram also, sir. This is my request, sir.
स्पीकर महोदय, बात सही है कि हमारे एमएसएमई जो योजना है उसमें विशेष करके प्रधानमंत्री जी के निर्देश के आलोक में युवाओं के लिए और महिलाओं के लिए विशेष प्रयास किया जा रहा है। और इस परिस्थिति में माननीय सदस्य ने जो प्रश्न किया है उस प्रश्न को हम लोग संज्ञान में लिया है और यथासंभव ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को इंगेजमेंट देने के लिए और उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी अफोर्ड करने के लिए हम लोग प्रयास करेंगे, ये हम उनको बताना चाहते हैं।
सुकांत कुमार पनिगरी।
Honorable Sir, what is the current status of implementation of this scheme Aspire in Odisha? How many rural enterprises and entrepreneurs have been supported under Aspire since its inception? What are the specific initiatives taken under Aspire to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in rural Odisha? What is the amount of funds allocated to Aspire? What are the key challenges faced in implementing Aspire in Odisha and how are they being addressed? How does the government plan to scale up and expand Aspire in Odisha to cover more rural areas and beneficiaries? What is the impact of Aspire on employment generation and income enhancement in rural Odisha?
Sir, so far Aspire scheme is concerned in Odisha, we have tried our level best to do this work in that very state, and as far as his question is concerned, data of Odisha is concerned, in year 22 and 21 we have given their men and women 127 were benefited, and 21-22 combined men and women were zero UMSA. That is our left on our part, and we are doing all efforts to do this work ahead. Or another thing is concerned, LBI's approved establishment with the output and quantum since inception of 3/1/31/324 under Aspire Yojana in Odisha. Recent is that number of LBI is 8 and number of LBI established 4, and so far beneficiaries trend is concerned 4,800 to 24, or number of beneficiaries wages implied is 191, and beneficiaries self-employed is 124.
बातचीत करने के लिए लोकसभा में बीजेपी के चीफ व्हिप संजय जायसवाल हैं। सर, आज लोकसभा में वक्फ संशोधन बिल आया जा रहा है, क्या कहेंगे?
जिस विपक्षी दल हमेशा सच्चा कमेटी की बात करते हैं, विपक्षी दल हमेशा इस संसद में कोई भी होता है तो जेपीसी की बात करते हैं। और के रहमान खान के नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस की मेजॉरिटी के साथ जो जेपीसी बनी थी, आज जेपीसी के रिकमेंडेशंस को लागू करने की बात हो रही है। और इस देश के संविधान में प्रत्येक नागरिक को एक बराबर अधिकार मिले। यह एक अजीब केस है कि अगर आपको वक्फ बोर्ड से शिकायत है तो आप हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट नहीं जा सकते हैं, आपको उन्हीं के ट्रिब्यूनल में जाना होगा। इससे आम नागरिक के अधिकारों का हनन हो रहा है। मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ अल्पसंख्यक कार्यों के मंत्री श्री किरण रिजिजू जी को कि उन्होंने इस देश के अल्पसंख्यकों को, गरीब अल्पसंख्यकों को इंसाफ दिलाने का काम कर।
लेकिन समाजवादी पार्टी और कांग्रेस इसका विरोध कर रही है, कई विपक्षी पार्टियां भी विरोध कर रही है।
जिस सच्चर कमेटी की बात वह लगातार करते हैं, आज सच्चर कमेटी के रिकमेंडेशन से इनको क्या है? एक नागरिक के साथ अगर गलत हो तो उसे हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाने का अधिकार होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए, यह बात जरूर विपक्षी दलों को बताना चाहिए।
धन्यवाद सर। मनोहर केसरी, इंडिया न्यूज, दिल्ली।
Services catering to engine component and avionics. Is there any proposal for the central agency to coordinate development and stakeholder engagement in this sector?
Speaker sir, first of all I'd like to appreciate the honourable member for recognizing the growth that has been happening in the civil aviation industry, especially in the last 10 years with the growth in infrastructure. And he has also mentioned about the aircraft orders that we have, which is highest in the world. We have up to the tune of 1150 aircraft orders that are pending yet. And especially he has asked specifically regarding the MRO sector, which needs to be improved. And on behalf of the NDA government and also the vision of Honorable Prime Minister has also been not just to improve the infrastructure regarding the airports and airlines, but also to improve the MRO sector that is there in the country. And one historic decision has been taken regarding this, sir, where the inverted GST, which covers the components and the MRO services that is there. Earlier, before the decision was taken on 12th of July 2024, the GST regarding the MRO components and all used to have different slabs. When you are importing these components, there was 5%, there was 12%, 18%, and 28%, different slabs. That was giving a whole lot of confusion, and because of which the MRO industry in probably Singapore or some other countries was mostly preferred. But right now, we have reduced the whole different slabs and made it a unified slab for 5%, which is going to help us in increasing the MRO industry from 2 billion to up to 4 billion in the coming 7 years, sir. That is the projection that we have made. And other than that, in the budget also, I am very thankful to the Honorable Finance Minister, who has also recognized that the MRO sectors needs a lot of push, and there is a lot of potential here. And because of which, in the Union Budget 2024-25, the Finance Minister has also given an assurance that the period for export of goods imported for repairs has been extended from 6 months to 1 year. And also the time limit for re-import of goods for repairs under warranty has been extended from 3 years to 5 years. These are some of the specific industry recommendations that have come from the MRO, sir. The government has heard them. The government has ensured that they be brought into the policy. And now, since we have done all these things, through the GST and through the budget also, we have done these specific things for the MRO. So that is definitely going to improve the MRO business in the country. And the projection, like I've said, sir, is from $2 billion to up to $4 billion in the coming 7 years that we are projecting.
So, second question, sir. So, what's the comprehensive steps taken by the government to enhance the development of human capital within the aviation and the MRO sector, particularly through collaborative efforts with industry stakeholders, including MRO players, OEMs, and other manufacturers? How is the government working to create an effective education and training curriculum to equip engineers and support staff with necessary skills, and what measures are being implemented to incentivize careers in MRO through scholarship and student exchange program and other benefits? And how does our country leverage its strength for the engineering workforce to competitive labor cost to attract global MRO activities and to bolster our position in India? And are you considering airfields which
चलिए रुक करते हैं अब फटाफट खबरों का।